course, talking about T-Lock, so at the end of the day, we personally believe that there's something, as a human being, we have been cherishing our right of speech for a very long time. But at the end of the day, the question is, do we actually have freedom of speech as we are supposed to have it or not? So the answer, if we look at the recent instances where Donald Trump was banned from Twitter and along many other celebrities as well. So I think that the freedom of speech, the entire agenda is being lost somewhere, and that is where my co-founder Kazuki Sakamoto, who's been into the space as an OG guy, a Bitcoiner by passion. So he had stumbled upon this idea where he wanted to ensure that all these people, be it you, be it an artist, be it somebody who's propaganding for his civil rights or whatever the agenda would be, we have a platform which is true and which is free in its entire nature. So that is where the idea of TLOC comes into the space. So what we are doing, we are building a Web3 social media platform which is centered around the core idea that we want to ensure that everybody who is here, who is involved with the platform, they have the freedom, the right to express whatever they want to without any fear of censorship. So this idea is quite novel. Probably a lot of people they might have tried, but at the end of the day, the idea remains an idea. The execution part, that is the core challenge there, because there are so many factors which one has to take care of when you're building a platform from the zero. For example, if you are familiar with any Web3 platform, if you go to any social media profile right now, you will see a that would have one, probably a billion followers over there. But at the end of the day, how many of those are real followers? Because we have been forgetting this key idiom or the key synchronicity, that quality over quantity any given day. And that is the core agenda here, to ensure that we are aligned and we are building similarly in alignment with the core idea here. We have ensured the entire architecture is built in a similar fashion. So let me give you a brief overview, right? So what happens when you're building, say, a social media platform? Like, say, I'm an Instagram user, I am a Twitter user, I'm an X user, like most of people are over here are. So we spend so much time over social media platforms, we create content, we tweet, we post images, we engage with other people. But the question the is it being free or are you getting censored here? Of course. Yes, the censorship, even we believe it or not, is real. Every content that we are sharing is getting censored. Every content that we are actually viewing, we are actually looking at, is also getting censored. Social media has become a black box by algorithm-based domains. For example, there is an algorithm which decides which type of content you are going to see. But I think as an individual, as a user, you have the right to decide which content you want to see personally. That is where TLOC comes into the space. We ensure that you, as a user, when you join TLOC, you have 100% control over the content that you are sharing, the content that you are viewing, and while you are doing it, you also get rewarded for it. Just imagine having a niche version of Twitter or say Instagram with the combined features, which also rewards you for the time and the actions that you spend on the platform. So that is where D-Log has added a novelty here. For example, you must have heard about, say, Farcaster. You must have heard about Twitter. So all these platforms, they have great utility. I absolutely love both these platforms. But certain features, they are missing. The first feature is, even after spending so much time, these platforms are centered around rewarding the KOLs and the key figures who have gained several traction over the platform. But I think every user who is spending their time has the right to be compensated for it. So that is where, yes, that is like not sustainable the way things are right now. I agree with it, but at the end of the day, it's a long-term vision, because believe me or not, Rome was not built in a day, and neither was blockchain, neither was Bitcoin, right? So we have an idea which we are building on right now, and the idea is sustainable. The MVP is already out on Google Store. I'll share the link with you, and you can have a go and download the platform and see for yourself like what we are building upon. So this idea is very practical. How has it become practical? Is that we're gonna be having uh as any Web3 platform, we're gonna be having a native token. Our native token is called as a talk token, which is gonna be the center and the governance, the central basically the center of the entire ecosystem over here. So what's gonna be happening? Uh, See, at the end, any social media platform is incomplete till there are users from all fields of life. So we want to ensure that anybody, be it a Web 2 folk, be it a Web 3 folk, be it a college student, be it a school, be it anybody, be it probably the senior folks in the house, everybody is able to use blockchain seamlessly and enjoy the benefits of it. So what we are doing, we are ensuring that when you are onboarding a Web3 social media platform, it comes with no friction at all. So everything from your wallet, from the gas fees, everything along the lines is being taken care by the platform itself. For example, you will need certain gas fee to conduct certain transaction on the platform. That's how blockchain works. So what we are doing, we are giving transaction fees to all the users, which they can use to do the actions. And while they do the actions, they also get to credited to their accounts. So there's gonna be proper roadmap. Everything is consistently being built upon. So that is one particular factor over here, which ensures that there is no friction. You do not have to create any third-party wallet account. You don't have to have a Binance account. You don't have to have a MetaMask. All you have to do is sign up the way you would sign up on any social media platform, and you can directly go to the application and start interacting with other folks. So since there is like zero, there is no traction as far as onboarding is concerned, we are trying to bridge the gap between Web2 folks and Web3 folks, because at the end of the day, as we are Web3 folks, we actually believe that Web3 is centered around networking. So we want to network with everybody and anybody possible. So that is why the idea that we want to ensure, yes, onboarding is a hassle. Like I really agree with Naresh. So that is why we have spent several hours just thinking about streamlining this process so much that there is no hassle for any Web2 folk or any Web3 folk to onboard this platform. You don't have to link your accounts. You don't have to add your uh, wallet addresses to it. You don't have to share any information which you don't want to share, and you get the entire access of it. Talking more about the platform, so how exactly are we going to be any different? For example, say maybe say if say maybe if I'm not interested in say holding any tokens, maybe it sounds like too much of technical hassle for me. What are the novelties we are bringing to the platform is the question that you would be asking to me. So what we are doing, as I mentioned earlier, we are ensuring that there is no censorship and there is no control. So we are gonna be giving, so as on the application, what's gonna be happening? There are gonna be different segments. You will be able to decide whether you want to see the moderated section, whether you want to see unfiltered section, or whether you want to see what you are exactly following right now. So it gives you complete freedom to decide what type of content you are actually browsing upon. Because during a previous AMA as well, one of the audience member, they had this question for me. Like for example, if you say there's no censorship, that might become a ground for illegitimate activities or probably spreading propaganda. So that is where you will be able to decide from a fixed pattern that whether you want to be exposed to the entire media without any censorship, or whether you want to have a control part. For example, you say you are a school student and you don't want to go through violence, so you can check off that box, and you won't have to, and you won't see any content that is probably violent in nature, which is probably bad to the psyche of probably youngsters or whatever your preferences are. So ensuring that there is complete freedom in which you are actually browsing your content. Second of all, when you are sharing your content, we have devised our architecture in such a way that there is, so what we are doing, the entire data will be stored on the block store and the state device, and the entire control would be with the TLOC platform itself. So what we are doing, so we are ensuring that when so we are ensuring that your data continuously remains in your grip. And there, for example, I post content on Twitter. So US government can come into play at any point, and they can censor the data. They can probably remove you from the platform or blacklist you. But that thing won't be possible as far as TLOC is concerned, because we are saving the entire data on multiple servers through block store and state device itself. So this is how a comprehensive mechanism has been created to ensure that there is complete anonymity, there is no control from any third parties, and there is specific, there is just so much space for everybody to just ensure that they are properly storing space into there. And the next question that would be asking me, how are we going to be generating any revenue? Because that is core probably one of the core agendas for any platform or any project to come into the space, right? So we're gonna be having almost we're gonna be having ad features. They're gonna be special archive folder. You can I really agree with you, Luke. Luke, I actually had the same idea. I'm just gonna share the link of the application with you on the Play Store, and you can see it for yourself how it's getting built on its own right now. So I really agree. So that is majorly how we're gonna be uh building the platform out. So I'm gonna be opening the space for anybody who has any questions so far, any idea that you want to probably discuss with me, and then I'll probably take it further from here. Frederick, any questions? Anybody in the house who have any questions for me?
Feel free to ask if you have any questions, guys. I think they prefer to see a demo rather than, or I believe Luke wants to know more about the underlying tech behind how it works. I hope I'm right.
All right, all right. Let me share my screen. Let me give you a feel of the platform. It's just gonna be mobile only application. So I'm just gonna show you how it feels like. Okay, so we are called as Lock, and that is, yes, here we are. So the agenda and the core motto of our platform is freedom of speech, of course. So right now we have completed about 40% of our development, and we are probably going to be rebranding the platform, adding more color and feel to it. But as I'll just show you how it works out. For example, as you see on the top left of the column, you see for you, following, and new section. So these are the three separate columns that you can click on, and you can decide what type of content you will be able to browse. For example, when you click on for you, that will be probably based upon your preferences. If you have, say, selected, I want to see uncontrolled or unfiltered content, you click on the for you section and you see the entire section, the entire content which has no censorship altogether. If you click on the following section here, you get to see the content from the profiles and the ideas which you are actually looking forward to see. And the new would show you the more content which is being featured on the platform. So if you go here, as you see, there's gonna be a proper section of periodic allowance, which is gonna be the gas fee, which will be given to you by the platform itself. So you're gonna be having periodic gas fee coming to your account, which will ensure that you are able to create content, interact with other profiles. But then it's entire thing is gonna be based upon reputation system. So, for example, there are gonna be thresholds at every level. For example, you had say level one. So at level one, you will have certain threshold on the number of activities you can do per day. On level 2, the threshold is going to be increased, and the amount of TLOC tokens that you earn in your wallet, they also increase depending upon the threshold itself. For example, you see my wallet has about 1.1 TOC tokens. So these tokens, they have been given to me my account by creating content. Similarly, periodic allowance, that's 100 TOC, that is coming to my account automatically after the expiry of these tokens. So the platform in itself is quite simple. It's quite easy and seamless. Everything is very easily available. Yes, and we are adding and they're gonna be separate category sections as well. We're gonna be having about 100 plus categories here, which will divide the type of content you actually see. For example, if I go to crypto, I click on Bitcoin, the entire content that's about being posted about Bitcoin will be available over here itself. So that is how the application currently feels like. And additionally, like yes, so Luke, Thank you so much. So as Luke mentioned that he was curious about how the architecture is being built about the project. So I'll give you a brief about the architecture and the underlying technology. So what we are doing, uh, the entire thing is of course civil resistant. We have multiple features into the place that's going to be ensuring that unlike majority of social media platforms, the bots cannot enter into the space, because bots can become a big problem as far as a platform as content to earn or engage to earn are concerned. So that was one core challenge that we had to solve from our end. So that is where we added multiple layers of civil protection into the space, and the entire economics are built as such based upon the tier level and the XP system level, that adding bots to the platform and creating them to the multiple levels where they can actually earn substantial profit is not economical. So for example, you end up say, if you want to say earn $100 from the platform, you'll have to end up spending more than $100 to actually make that money out. So the economies of scale are programmed in such a way that such a problem does not come into the picture over here. Does it make sense? Right. So, this is what T-Log is building right now. Additionally, our entire economy we have. So the tokenomics has been a real core feature that we had to work really hard upon. So what we had to ensure that there is sufficient reward pool for all the users. So to ensure that over the longer run of time, we do not run over the tokens. So we have ensured that over 50% of the entire tokenomics are reserved to reward the users who are actually engaging on the platform, creating their content out, and actually actually using it into day life. Along the way, we are also looking at adding multiple features like encrypted video call service, AMA service, encrypting DMs into the platform itself. So that is gonna ensure that we have uh, continuous utility for all the people, and at the end of the day, we do not see ourselves as competitors to any major social media platform over here. But what we see ourselves as a novelty in our own cause, because at the end of the day, no matter how many social media platforms we look at, nobody is actually safeguarding what they should be safeguarding in the first place. That is the freedom of speech. Because if say I am Elon Musk, if say I am Donald Trump, who actually got banned from the platform, if I am sharing my propaganda, probably if I am sharing political opinions, they are my own. And as a free space, as a propaganda of freedom of speech, I should have that space. It's no matter what kind of views I air into the space, that should not be a problem. That should not be hindering me out. So yes, that is what we are doing. Currently, we launched our platform about 8 to 9 months ago, and we have done through 40% of the development is already done, and we are continuously building upon it. The developer teams are continuously at work. In about 2 to 3 months, we're expecting our main test not to launch in the market, and that will probably give you the complete feel and complete feel of the platform itself. So additionally, there are a couple of other features which I think you would be probably interested in knowing. We have mic. So one of the core feature that we are actually proud upon is our search engine speed. For example, you have to say search about any particular topic on the platform. Our search speed is less than 10 milliseconds itself. And to ensure that, what we had to do, we had pre-sorted our indexes. Everything has been built upon on-chain itself to ensure that there is no lag, which can be a cause of delays into other platforms, because we are building a Web3 platform which should be at a pace which is fit for Web3 users, right? So that is one thing. Additionally, then we're gonna be having uh, that there's going to be personalized feeds, there's going to be reputation layer, then there's going to be real-time ad bidding itself. So there are a bunch of other features which are probably best based upon. And then if you ask me why T-Log, right? So Why T-Log? That's a very good question. We have uh, one of the core questions that come to my mind, which I have been facing, which we as a team have been facing, that Twitter is good enough for me, Instagram is good enough for me. I do not need any other platform. But do you know why people have such opinions? It's kind of funny because they do not matter at a smaller scale. They do not think that they have what it takes to stand out in the crowd, which can probably a cause of concern. So we are building a platform which is going to ensure that no matter what kind of opinions you have, how strong your opinions are, what your political standing is, what your beliefs are, what are you actually voicing your opinions about, nothing is going to be banning you from the platform. The worst that can happen to you, that there can be a soft screening, which will ensure that users who are sensitive in nature, they can decide, and they can decide to see non-sensitive content only. That is the only censorship which will be imposed upon you as a creator, as a content creator. And the fun part is you don't have to have 100K followers like on YouTube or Instagram to get monetization. You can have as less as 10 followers, but then if you are creating valuable content, the entire mechanism is built to ensure that you get rewarded for it. I think that is what makes us stand apart from all the other platforms. Even recently, somebody probably mentioned something that even Farcaster is moving away from a social media space to a DeFi role. So at the end of the day, once Farcaster completely makes it move, there is not going to be any social media platform which is purely based upon blockchain. It's built for blockchain users. Antilog is the only one who's going to be standing over there, ensuring ensuring that there is somebody who's actually standing for freedom of speech. Additionally, as you see, right, for example, Twitter in itself, it keeps a very keen and very strong eye upon the Middle East countries, the countries which are involved in conflicts, and the accounts, they get banned by thousands. So that kind of problem will not be happening on T-Log for sure. That is one thing that we as T-Log are guaranteeing everybody out here. Additionally, um, so if you ask me, like I mentioned earlier, that we are something who are basically based upon DAO based, right? So what we are doing at the end of the day, believe me or not, there needs to be a certain check system into the space which ensures that everything is done, but then it does not become counterproductive. To ensure that, we have decided to build the entire system based upon governance. Um, Governance, why governance itself? Because see, what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be selecting moderators from from the community members itself. We're gonna be electing moderators, the people who are actually deciding upon the rules of the platform from the people who are actually using the platform. So it's similar to how, as you say, uh, it's so that ensures that there is just no third party intervention over here. Just give me 1 second. So yes, the so the, wide outburst kernel system. So at the end of the day, we also want to ensure that all the participants, all the people who are actually becoming participant. So at uh yes. So so at the end of the day, we want to be like a democracy, right? At the end of the day, we want to ensure that we, as the user base of the platform, decide what kind of features need to be changed, what kind of features need to be added to the platform, what type of control need to be there, how to reward the entire platform altogether. So everything is gonna be based upon voting itself. The voting is gonna be based upon how much tokens you actually hold. So that gives me a broad overview of the entire platform. If you are somebody who is looking forward to join a growing space, who want to start building their, Yes, exactly. It's like gonna be like a DAO type governing system. So we are currently looking for people who want to build their own network, who want to be the upcoming KOLs into the upcoming platform. If you're somebody like that, drop me a text. I would be happy to onboard you onto the platform, share the alphas with you. And we are, as mentioned earlier in the announcement as well, we are giving away 100K tokens to everybody who joined the space today. So if you're still here and you would like to be an early adapter of the space, give me a shout out at the log, and I will ensure the tokens are transferred to your accounts to the referral board itself. So the time we have the TGE, they will be convertible to the stable coins itself. So now I open the space for any questions, any type of questions we have. If you want to know more about T-Log, if you want to know about how the referral system works or how the airdrop works, please feel free. The space is all yours, guys. And that is what I had to share, Frederick.
All right, brother. So like Ashish sir said, feel free to ask if you have any questions. And if you have any questions regarding the giveaway as well, please do ask. Uh, very novel and very uh, optimistic idea, I would say. A lot of people have tried in the past, and I'm
Yes,
certain.
I think so. The vision seems nice, of course.
Yep.
And I think there is space and there is room for a platform which ensures freedom of speech while being a Web3 web blockchain based social media platform. So that is the idea over here. I'm going to be joining the Web3 community itself. I'll drop a text into the group so that you guys can reach out to me if you have any further questions or you want to get your reward transferred to your account. Please feel free.
Right. Any other questions? Feel free to ask, guys. We'll have the space open for a few more minutes, and then we'll be winding up. Um, Luke, do you have any questions? You had a question on how it operated, right? I hope that question was answered. But other than the technical stuff, if you have any other questions on what their timeline looks like for launch and more details on the team, on the founders, feel free to ask, guys.
I think that we are good here.
Looking forward to what you. Okay. Thank you, Mridul.
Thank you for having me here and sharing the
Sir,
space.
let's wait for 2 more minutes. Let's see if any
Absolutely, I'm
guys,
over here.
see
And
if.
yes, and I'm gonna be dropping my community link with you guys. If you have any questions, you want to ask anything from me, you want to get your tokens in, you can directly drop a text over here and we'll get it sorted out for you.
Okay, if everyone's quiet, it means either of two things. Either they've understood everything, they
Everything
agree.
or they have understood nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good to me either which way.
Yep. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Thank you for taking the time on a Friday evening to listen to what we had to say. Thank you, Ashish sir, for being kind enough to feature,
Thank
I
you so
mean,
much for having me
explain
here.
more about your product. This
Cheers,
is
people.
19th Town Hall of OnchAIn Asia, where Web3 Madras is the community partner, supported by deep funding. Once again, thank you all for joining. We'll share the community link and the giveaway details in the group as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I think sir will be here for 2 more minutes, but after that, we'll be closing the call. So thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. Have a happy weekend. Okay, so we'll be winding up and more than happy to take your questions in the community. Either OnchAIn Asia or Web3 Madras, or even Clock chat would also work. Once again, thank you all for joining. Have a happy weekend. Bye-bye.